To what extent do we need to address the issue of handicap accessibility? You mentioned wheelchairs, and that involves one of the questions from the good people in the audience. Given what several of you have talked about with the cost of actually everything, how do we fit in accessibility for those people who need some additional help, like sidewalks, like wheelchair ramps, and like many others that we can come up with? Where do you fit that in with your priorities? Dan, please.
Our grant coordinator has done a really good job of taking advantage of the ITD programs with fixing those curb cuts and the ramps. I think actually in my tenure, there's been a change in what the requirements are. We've actually changed some a couple times since I've been elected, since I'm elected the first time. And all those right now that we can take advantage of, though, happen to be along state highways. But we're doing our best to do the same sorts of upgrades to those curb approaches around town to make it easier for accessibility. As I think it was the Human Rights Commission did the accessibility demonstration, I guess, for lack of a better term, and it's obvious that there are places that we really need to work on. I think we've done a pretty good job downtown of taking care of some of the stumbling blocks. There's always room for improvement, and that is one of the higher parts of the priority as far as when we put those sidewalks in. We got to do it right. We got to take care of what's out there. You just can't have those sharp curves that I used to like when I was a kid on a bicycle. It's a real good era.
Catherine?
Again, the best way to represent is to read the city surveys, and this question and these types of questions are on the city surveys. This last city survey in 2014 had the lowest return, though people do complete the surveys have gotten longer and they've gotten more complicated, which is a credit to the search for quality information, but it's difficult sometimes for community members to fill out. You can see the city surveys on the city site, and you can get information about these things. And this is one of the issues that comes up is accessibility. Accessibility in all the public facilities and accessibility if you're building something new. But it takes money, so it has to become a priority. So then the voters have to say, this is what we need.
Yeah, certainly we've made some progress in the last few years, like Dan said, with the IDT grants that Alyssa Anderson has been able to get for us to improve the curb cuts all along downtown and up North Main, especially the North Main Hill was. You couldn't, if you were in a wheelchair, you couldn't go up North Main to Moscow Building Supply, I don't think, unless you were willing to get run over by a chip truck on your way up by staying in the street. So I think we're making some progress, and it does need to be a priority in any new construction of sidewalks, that they should be accessible to wheelchairs, and people with disabilities should be able to use them.
Yes.
You know, I think it's a big issue, accessibility, for everyone, so that everyone in this community, in this society, can live a quality of life which everyone deserves to be able to live. I know back in 2009, part of when Moscow was able to put in, over the couple of years after 2009, a lot of the wheelchair ramps, and we got rid of a lot of the bigger curbs. A lot of that funding, if I'm not mistaken, as I remember being told, came from the stimulus package that was passed in 2009. And, I mean, that's something that on all levels of government, we need to be looking at and making, I think it's a nonpartisan issue, really, that government needs to be funding infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, and accessibility for everybody, so that we can make sure that everybody has access to the kind of life that everyone in America deserves to live, so that they can achieve their dream. Thank you.
Thank you.